Hey boys and girls, this is Miss Redmond and this is our last day of drawing conclusions and making inferences. All right, let's go ahead and start with our I can statement. Our I can statement is I can draw conclusions about a story using details in my background knowledge. Of course, our fiction characteristics, a fiction story will have characters, a setting, problem, and a solution. Now let's review. So we've been working on drawing conclusions, and when we draw conclusions, we infer. And what that means is we are putting two and two together. We are putting the pieces of a story together. So you are pretty much figuring out something about a text or about the text that the author did not tell you. So when you are making an inference, you simply use the information from the text and your background knowledge. So go ahead and take a moment to draw this graphic organizer 2 times. And you can pause here so that you can get that drawn and then press play when you are ready to move on. All right, here's our passage for today. Now I want you to slide your graphic organizers to the side. You won't use them just yet. Of course, I want you to see how I would answer these questions. Making inferences, the volcano. We are going to read this together. The explorers were hiking to the highest ridge of the volcano to collect data for science. Beads of sweat were dripping down their bodies as they walked higher and higher. Finally, they reached the top and started collecting the samples for their research. Without warning, the ground beneath them started to tremble powerfully. "It's erupting!" they screamed. "Run!" They sped down the volcano as a dark gray cloud spewed from above. Ash and rock started to rain down on them as they raced towards safety. A thunderous boom sounded, and they could feel the heat of the lava behind them. They sprinted down until they reached the helicopter. Up, up, up into the air they went. They made it. Now, question number 1 is, how do you think the explorers felt when they realized the volcano was erupting? Now, when I use my graphic organizer, of course, I need to think about what the text tells me. What are the clues? What is the information that has been given to me? So when I think about that, I know that the text said that the explorers screamed and started to run down the volcano. Now, I know volcanoes are dangerous, and if I was in that situation, I would feel very scared in that moment. So I can infer the explorers felt terrified when they realized the volcano was erupting. All right. Now you can bring your graphic organizers in front of you. Question number 2 says, why do you think beads of sweat were dripping down their bodies? Go ahead and pause the video right now so that you can use your graphic organizer, fill it in, and answer this question. When you're ready, press play and you can move on. All right, so question number 2 was, why do you think beads of sweat were dripping down their bodies? Now, when I think about the clues from the text, I know that the text said that beads of sweat started to drip down as they walked higher. Now, I know that volcanoes are very hot. They can be very hot. Inside a volcano is lava, so it makes sense that even though you're not inside of it, you would still be able to feel the heat that comes from it. And then I also know that after doing a lot of hiking, anyone will sweat. So I can infer the explorers were sweating or dripping beads of sweat because of the heat. All right, question number 3. How do you think the explorers initially arrived at the volcano? Initially means first. So, how do you think they first arrived at the volcano? Go ahead and pause so that you can use your graphic organizer and answer this question, and then press play when you're ready to move on. All right, so question number 3 said, how do you think the explorers initially or first arrived at the volcano? Well, the clues in the text said that they hiked up to the highest ridge of the volcano. So they walked that part. But we also know that they had to sprint down the volcano once it started to erupt until they reached the helicopter. Now, I know that it would take a very long time to hike to the top of a volcano. If you're starting from the bottom all the way to the top and you're having to go all the way to the top and you were only hiking, it would take a very long time. Now, because of that, it makes sense that they would take a helicopter first and then hike the rest of the way. So I can infer the explorers arrived by helicopter. All right, so today we practiced drawing conclusions by making inferences. Now remember, when you infer, you are putting pieces together. In other words, you are figuring out something about the text that the author did not tell you. To make an inference, you simply use the information from the text and your background knowledge. All right, guys, that concludes our last lesson of the week and of the school year. I thank you so much for watching my videos. It was so much fun creating them. I hope that you guys have a safe and fun summer.